From sock dem, secular talk, all the way to the tankiest tanky, and everybody in between was roasting her ass. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm sorry to get so fired up. It's because I want to be able to support AOC that I'm so pissed off. Everybody would have been happy, but she's a bad politician. She came out and she defended funding the Iron Dome. The reason why I'm so pissed off this morning, AOC made what amounted to the worst public statement I've ever seen by a progressive figure and united the left in hatred and disapproval. So there was a vote by Marjorie Taylor Greene, an amendment to end the funding for the Iron Dome.
My amendment would strike $500 million in funding for nuclear-armed Israel's missile defense system. The U.S. already provides Israel with $3.8 billion annually in foreign aid. U.S. aid typically accounts for 15 to 20% of Israel's defense budget, even though Israel has universal health care and subsidized college for their citizens.
Now, I want you to understand something, chat. If you think talking about money going to Israel's defense and the word anti-Semitism comes to your mind, eat shit, fuck you, leave, unfollow, get the fuck out. And I hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene fucking sucks. It's not anti-Semitism to not want to fund a country's military defense that's doing a genocide. Shut the fuck up. Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to cut off offensive aid to Israel, nor end the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Of course I voted against it. What it does do is cut off defensive Iron Dome capacities while allowing the actual bombs killing Palestinians to continue. I have long stated that I do not believe that adding to the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. That is a simple and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. I remain focused on cutting the flow of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza. This tweet pissed me off so much I replied 3 times, chat. Would giving anti-aircraft flak cannons to Nazi Germany have made sense? Oh, guys, I'm against the Holocaust, but I don't think any innocent Germans should be killed in this terrible war. That's why America needs to send anti-aircraft flak towers to Nazi Germany. Are you fucking kidding me? And when you send money to Israel so they can buy anti-aircraft missiles, then they have other money that they can then use to buy bombs. You are enhancing Israel's military arms and equipment so that it can perpetuate a genocide without any retaliation. Everybody from all segments of the left was roasting her ass. From sock dem, secular talk, all the way to the tankiest tanky, and everybody in between was roasting her ass. And I said, this is a painfully childish analysis. Either you are attempting to do something for purely cynical reason, or your advisors are some of the most incompetent in Washington. The pro-Zionists are not going to support you ever because you criticize Israel and call it a genocide, dummy. And everybody else who recognizes it as a genocide, they want to sanction and embargo Israel. We want to deny them civilian economic aid. We don't want them to be able to trade, let alone get fucking arms. Are you insane? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm sorry to get so fired up. It's because I want to be able to support AOC that I'm so pissed off. Every time I come back to this post, it angers me more. Rashida Tlaib, the only Palestinian American congresswoman, voted for the anti-Iron Dome funding amendment. Ilhan Omar and Summer Lee, a socialist from Pittsburgh, also voted for it. AOC is implicitly attacking them. She's implying that Rashida Tlaib and Summer Lee and Representative Green, both of them, are trying to get Israeli civilians killed. That's what she's implying. And this is why I think she's incompetent, or her staff needs to be replaced. If she had just voted against it and somebody asked her, she'd be like, I don't want to support Marjorie Taylor Greene because she is a scumbag. And people would have let that go. They would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But she came out and she defended funding the Iron Dome. And she stabbed her fellow leftists in the back. My ultimate feeling about AOC is one of 2 things. One is she was our 5-star prospect that we all invested our money and time into. And she's a fucking bust. You saw the flashes. You saw the talent. There were moments where you thought, maybe she's coming into her own. Maybe she's getting it. But this fucking past couple days, man, AOC is not that good at social media. She was able to get in 2018, and we talked about her because she was left-wing and she was young. And so she got boosted by us. She had 1 or 2 good videos she posted for her campaign, but she was never good at social media. Zoran was good at social media. Zoran became a national media figure because of his social media. Zoran didn't go on Twitter and try to find all the people that criticized his messaging around defund the police or his messaging around Israel's right to exist. He didn't run around going, somebody's criticizing me. Oh, it's not fair. He learned how to shut the fuck up. She can't do it. She's thin-skinned. And it's hard for me because I want to like AOC. I want to be able to support AOC. But the truth is she is not living up to the hype. She's not that good at this. Let's be honest. Her political instincts are poor. There's a lot to like about her, but what she actively does most of the time sucks. She needs help. I don't know who the fuck is in her ear or if this is her own thoughts, but that she's not very effective. Yeah, she's popular and well-known and an attractive woman, and she has good policies. But as far as political acumen, it's not that good, folks. And I don't mean that to be mean. I mean that to be accurate. What has AOC really done? She didn't recruit a bunch of candidates to challenge Democrats all over the country. And the way she's handled the genocide in Gaza has been pathetic. There was no risk she was going to get primaried by AIPAC out of her seat. She could have been a bold, ambitious voice, and she's continually failed to rise to the occasion. And posts like this show a complete disconnection from her socialist base, a complete lack of ability to read the room, and are dangerously out of touch. I want to be able to say AOC is good, but she is failed. And this post is a quintessential example of utter failure. Now, I think a lot of people will want me to be like, oh, AOC is a liberal opportunist. Oh, I hate AOC or whatever the fuck. The reason why I'm different than many other people in politics is I only care about policy. I show solidarity with people that are with me on policy. And if they don't, then they get none. I will not throw anybody into the dumpster if I can use them. I think the problem with AOC is she wants to be liked. AOC unfollowed you? I don't know. Oh, I guess so. I guess she did. I gotta update my Twitter link now. I have a better Congresswoman follow. We got the Summer Lee follow. The only time I ever disagreed with Summer is Summer really hated John Fetterman. And she was right. She's doubling down. Google is free. If you're saying I voted for military funding, you are lying. Receipts attached. Drag me for my positions all you want, but lying about them doesn't make you part of the left. If you believe neo-Nazis are welcome and operating in good faith, you can have them. So you're saying that Summer Lee and Rashida Tlaib and Al Green and Ilhan Omar are Nazis? Nah, Mike, she's playing 4D chess. Oh, Hutch likes it? Hutch likes it, tells you everything you need to know. This guy is dumber than dirt. Every single thing he says is wrong. He's dumber than fucking dirt. And he owes me money. Pay up, Hutch! AOC's office was vandalized with red paint overnight in New York City.
When officers arrived, they found the front of the building splashed with red paint and a sign accusing the Congresswoman of funding genocide in Gaza.
It's completely coincidental that I painted my room red. The fact that I had a bucket of red paint is completely coincidental, chat. Here's what DSA said. Providing any aid to Israel as they carry out a genocide with U.S. support is completely unacceptable. This is even more true of military aid of any kind. Any funds that go to Israel assist this brutal genocide. Any support for Israel legitimizes its eliminationist campaign against the Palestinian people. The fact that Representative Ocasio-Cortez acknowledges that Israel is carrying out this genocide makes her support for military aid all the more disappointing and incongruous. We urge the representative to continue voting against the Iron Dome, whether it is part of a larger defense spending bill or as a standalone bill. We are proud that DSA member and Congresswoman Rep. Rashida Tlaib, as well as allies Reps. Ilhan Omar and Summer Lee and Al Green, voted to cut this military money to Israel in opposition to 422 members of Congress before voting no on the overall package. As DSA member Rashida Tlaib said, our country is obsessed with war. Every year, Congress votes to invest in death and destruction instead of healthcare, housing, clean air and water, or ending child poverty here at home. It's that fucking simple. I think that if you're not angry about what's going on in Gaza, if you're not at the point where you completely reject any kind of support of Israel's state, you are so out of touch, it's insane. The American people are already convinced. You know, the vast majority of Americans want to end aid to Israel. This is not a position that's going to hurt you electorally. There was just a poll the other week reported on CNN, 56-point swing among Democrats on Israel-Palestine. Democrats who sympathize more with Israel or Palestine. In 2017, it was Israel by 13. Now it's Palestine by 43. If a person is a Democrat, they sympathize with Palestine, period. And it's even worse among young people for Israel. People who are 18 to 49, which isn't even that young, it's Palestine plus 57. I think we are on the edge. We're on the edge of this establishment politics changing, but we don't have a leader. We don't have somebody who can really go for it. People like to talk about elections, and that's what they think politics is. And the only thing that has the international heft to build a real movement around is probably going to be the presidency. We can try to get started now. I would love to get some, new left-wingers elected in Congress in 2026. Hopefully there's a big national movement. Unfortunately, AOC is not a leader, and Bernie Sanders is old and decrepit. There is the pre-October 7th leftism, and there's the post-October 7th leftism. And we don't have any avatars of post-October 7th, except for maybe Zoran. But he's under tremendous pressure from the pre-October 7 leftists. I'm worried about Zoran. I'm not going to lie, because, being surrounded by these type of people are going to make him a lot worse. I hope Zoran is seeing this and realizing that these dumb fucking liberal Zionists positions have no juice and are likely to undermine his campaign.
There's an opportunity on foreign policy that Democrats are not taking right now. It's not just condemning the war in Gaza and Netanyahu. It's like rethinking the U.S.-Israel relationship, rethinking whether it makes sense to provide a really rich country $3+ billion in military support per year.
We have an opening to reach people that we had lost or people that we had never even had before if we are willing to stand up and be against these wars, be against this blank check of support. And it's just bizarre to not take that opportunity.
And this is Pod Save America, the Obama guys. I mean, it's fucking pathetic that even the Pod Save guys are a quadrillion times better at this. Like, this is fucking embarrassing. Do I think there's a way back? I mean, there's always a way back. The thing about a politician is you have a million chances to make people like you. You can easily turn people around by just being better. And doubling down today, I don't know what fucking advice she got, but it is a crash out. She could have been against this and said, I don't want anything to do with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And nobody would have been able to be mad with her. If she just said that, I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so I voted against her because I don't want to be associated with her, but I voted against the larger bill because I don't think we should be funding Israel. Everybody would have been happy, but she's a bad politician. It's not just what she did, it's how she did it. She's bad at this. And I, quite frankly, don't want someone who's bad at this to be leading our fucking socialist movement. Hi, Lindsay. It's Summer Lee. I was just one of 6 members of Congress to vote against sending more weapons to Israel. We need to invest in healthcare, education, and infrastructure at home. We can't keep funding war and slaughter abroad. Pro-war special interests, AIPAC, and MAGA mega donors want me out of Congress. And Summer Lee is actually under threat because she's not an international celebrity. And she is in Pittsburgh, which has a large AIPAC community, actually one of the largest in the world, believe it or not. Pittsburgh has a gigantic supporter group of AIPAC. She had to fight tooth and nail to win. And this is a ballsy fucking position. If Summer Lee can do it, anyone can do it. I hope you guys are not surprised by my position on AOC. I have always been somebody who believes that we as a left-wing centrist Marxist movement should keep ourselves abreast of electoral politics, but we should keep ourselves as the principled faction who is constantly pressing our representatives more to the left. And when AOC does something this fucking stupid, I'm not going to support her, and I'm going to go all in on criticizing her, hopefully to help her be better. This is how I've always been and how I always will remain. It doesn't mean I'm abandoning electoral politics. I go where the masses are, whether it's labor unions, whether it's electoral politics, where regular people are talking about politics and the issues that affect them materially. I'm going to be there. But I have a wider horizon than that. We need revolution. And I'm trying to build a world where that is possible.